Good morning, my patrons. Let me see if you guys can hear me because I know sometimes when I go like this, y'all cannot hear me. So let me make sure y'all can hear me before I get started. All right, so y'all can hear me. All right, got the sound check. Let's jump into this. Welcome to another edition of You Guessed the Joel Davis Media Network. It's your host, Joel Davis. I decided to do this stream via mobile phone this morning. Wanted to do a little more impersonal um, type of stream. If it's your first time tuning into the broadcast, do me a favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell up top. Please like and share. Now, before I get started, I do have an announcement to make. If you are in the Jessup um, local area, please do me a big favor and be on the lookout this weekend. We got an event going on with my newest uh, company, A&M Kitchen, where we will be serving plates starting at $10 a pop. With that being said, the selection this week is going to be on succulent pork loin, or you have a choice of hamburger steaks with onions and peppers and gravy with the rice and green beans and squash. Now, again, if you are in the local area, please uh, follow me on Facebook. Y'all know Joe Davis Media Network. Also, too, we will definitely be advertising it on my new A&M Kitchen page. Check it out. Best reasonable places in town to get you a whole lunch or slash dinner with a reasonable price. And not to mention too, the hamburger steaks will be 8 ounces. All right. So enough with all that. Let's jump in today's topic. So today's topic today, we're going to talk about Trump getting indicted by Georgia, which is the dumbest thing of all time. Now, if you have not heard or been under a rock, currently right now, uh, our former president Donald J. Trump, who is currently running again to try to save the nation, was hit with 13 indictments along with 18 of his allies. Out of the 18 of his allies, it includes some of the following that's very popular in the media. We're talking about his former attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who was also the former mayor of New York. Uh, Also, attorney John Eastman, Sidney Powell, Gina Ellis, and Kenneth Cheesebro. Now, there are also some other colleagues of his, ex Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark, former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and Trump 2020 Election Day Director of Operations Michael Roman. Now, the indictment came down really around about last night when I seen it. Um, they leaked it out, but before the grand jury had a chance to even conduct what was really going on. But we already know how that goes. This ain't nothing new. So, with that being said, um, we also know recently the district attorney in Georgia that's going against Trump and trying to make a name for herself recently has been linked to one of the most notorious gang members, well, late gang members Donovan Big Nut Thomas, okay, part of a blood gang out of Atlanta. Now, you know her office says, oh, no, we ain't never had no parts of that. We don't know nothing about that. You know how that goes. But it's pretty much um, a very unique coincidence that she's currently going against the gentleman, the rapper who allowed that used to date. I mean, excuse me, going against the rapper that had beef with her last client that she was dealing with, and allegedly was involved in his murder. So that's already suspect, but we're neither going here or there. But we already knew that once that Trump and them started playing those games, because they were playing games first, that they were going to hurry up and try to push these indictments. Now, here's what's crazy about these indictments. Okay, it took them 2.5 years to do it. Even if Trump becomes president, which I'm quite sure now they giving him the golden way to become president, he can't guard pardon himself because these are state charges. And in state charges, I think that the president can't pardon himself unless it's federal charges. And it gets even crazier. Even the governor right now, Brian Kemp, can't even uh, give him a pardon. Well, I think it's nuts. Now, we already know that Willis is really about this life because she's trying to make a name for herself. So far, they got to the 25th, all parties involved to turn themselves in per the prosecutor, Fannie Willis. Here's my thing, man. I really gonna be 3,000 about it. This 98-page document that um I see in front of my face about what they charging Trump and them on. I don't really think this is gonna go far because once the American people have spoken and said what they said that they want Trump back in office because they're tired of the riffraff, all of this is definitely gonna go away. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I really think that Fannie Willis is reaching, and I think her next goal. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, that was crazy. All right, I know what that was about. Anyway, I think she is reaching. I think that her next goal in all of this, I'm thinking that Fannie Willis is trying to run for governor of Georgia. I really do. I don't think that she's trying to further her game in the how can I put this political arena, as in going into being a senator or something like that. I don't think that's not her next big thing. I think she's going to try to be a governor, and I think this is what she thinks in her mind to make herself governor qualified. But with the way Fannie Willis is going about things, she's not gonna get that. She's not gonna get a lot of support. So if that's her goal, I hate to tell her anything in the political arena. I'm out on it because she's too woke, and we already know how the wokeness is starting to fall on the wayside. I mean, this is sad. It's a sad day. I mean, we got a president that's been indicted 4 times, and I think altogether between the 4 indictments, they said he's up to 70 something counts, which is dumb. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, we're trying to put a man away for ever in a day because you don't like the fact that he stands on what he believes in. I mean, he has made this country more profitable than it ever has been. So this lets me know that this is not because you're trying to protect the country. You're doing this out of fear. This is a fear moment. This is a, oh my God, we cannot have Trump here. It's what it is. You say what you want to do what you please. This is a moment of fear. That's all this is. And people know I'm not lying. This is fear at its finest. Sad but true. Anyway, let's move right along to the next story. I want to talk about big nuts. I mean, excuse me, not big nuts. Mama's apologies. Otherwise, that Michael Oher versus the Tuohy family. Now, if you don't know who Michael Oher is the kid that was on The Blind Side. Okay, the movie with Sandra Bullock and all these other cast of characters. They talked about this black kid that was very talented, that could play a lot of sports, but and he was tall, he was strong. Problem was he lived in, I think it was Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah, around Memphis, Tennessee, in the project. You know what I'm saying? Hard living, hard life. You know, had nobody, no mother, no father in his life. The kid was just lost. Well, the Tuohy family, on per the movie that was written in the script, they came in, they looked after him, and you know, the whole story was he became successful, and this is the Michael Orr we see today. Well, y'all know that back around about, I'd say about 5 years ago, Michael Orr started complaining about he never uh that half of the stuff that was going on, okay, half of the stuff that was going on in the uh movie was false. Now we already know when it comes to this type of thing, right? When it comes to this type of thing with these movies and these video biographies, there is always going to be some kind of half truth, right? They're going to be like, listen, you know, this is what happened. Um, from our perspective, we're going to put a spin on it. Well, Michael Tuohy also got upset because, excuse me, Michael Orr also got upset because during the time the Tuohys was helping him in his transition of trying to get into a college and possibly get into the NFL, into the league, they actually had him sign some paperwork, and it was a conservatorship. Now, if you don't know what a conservatorship is, you can check out Britney Spears. Conservatorship is basically saying, okay, we feel like that you're not mentally prepared to handle your money in immediate finances, but we will be the ones that will babysit it with you. Okay. And if we feel like any move you make is too extreme or was not in reason, we can come in and we can regulate that and handle it just like that. It's something sort of what AI, if you don't know who AI is, that is Allen Iverson. Whenever he was spending money like a fool, he had an accountant that basically did the same thing over him, but it was more like a um not guardianship, but oh man, what they call that? Oh man, power of attorney. That's what it was. Something like a power of attorney. I want to make sure I got my notes right. Like a power of attorney. So while this is going on, Michael Orr didn't find out about this. They said about 3 years ago. Tops. He said he just recently found out, but the family's son, um, SJ Jr. was like, nah, Sean Tuohy Jr. was like, nah, he knew about this back in 2020, in our family group chat. But during the whole time this was going on, they had conservatorship. They never touched his money. They never touched it. They never messed with any of his contracts. Only thing they got any profit of, the Tuohys, were the film The Blind Side in the book deal. And what I was being exposed by SJ was like, over 5 years, we only got about maybe 70,000. So you got to divide the math here. He says 70,000 over 5 years. Give me a second. Let me go into my humble board of a computer, of a calculator here. 'Cause I'm going by what this young man said. Cause I believe he's telling the truth here. Because you know he said he only got 70,000 over 5 years, and this is the Tuohy's family. He said with everybody equal share, 5 years. So they were getting 14,000 a year. Now let's divide that by monthly, because when you're starting to deal with what they call that thing, royalties, you get it like quarterly or monthly. And I want to say I think they do it by monthly and they release it quarterly. Some people get it monthly, some people get it quarterly, but we're gonna divide it up. All right, so 14,000 roughly. We're gonna divide that by 12. All right, so off of that film, the most everybody was getting is about $1,100, $1,166.67. That's all the most money they were getting. So that tells me that they wasn't getting that much money. Okay, so let's follow me so far. You only get $1,167 a month. It's not really a lot of money, especially if you're an NFL player. Now let's look at Michael Oher's worth currently right now. I'm gonna look this up. You can look it up with me if you want to, and I can tell you this blindside guy's worth. All right, we're gonna look at Michael Oher net worth. All right, Michael Oher is worth $16 million right now. Okay, pretty good for a man that came from, what I'm saying, humble beginnings. All right, now Michael Oher, he did good for himself. He married a beautiful woman. He took care of his siblings. His children. He did the honorable thing. But the problem is that him and the Oars done hit a snag. And I'm gonna tell you why he hit a snag. My personal opinion. And I'm just gonna keep it 3,000 about it. I think they hit a snag because I think Michael Oher then got hit by the woke bug. He looking at it as these white folks, they took from me. Oh my God, they screwed me over. They didn't. I want to be a part of their family, but they had me sign a conservatorship. Well, newsflash, what's been said and stated over and over again by them, and also Tennessee DHS, because he was part of their um, was under their umbrella at the time, which is like Department of Social Services. Let me see what it's called. Department of Health Services. So they don't call it the Department of Social Services or Department of Child Services. In Tennessee, they call it DHS, right? Department of Health Services. He was still under their custody. He was about to age out of the system because he was about to turn 18. Because he's about to turn 18, the Tuohys could not adopt him. The process would have been too long, and he would have been like literally 18 years old. So they were advised the best thing you could do is do a conservatorship. You can still make him part, you can't make him part of your family legally, but with the conservatorship, you can help guide him. Now, this is what really pissed me off about Michael Oher. Michael Oher is so butthurt because he didn't get a chance to be legally adopted by them. But yet they went all the way out, provided a way for him to get out the hood. They assisted him a lot. They helped him with the college. They were there with him when he got drafted. They were there with him for every game. So I want to know, how can these people, the Tuohys, do you so dirty? Seemed like to me they were your biggest champions. All because they didn't adopt you and couldn't. You was about to age out the system. Oh, Hannah, I definitely will, bro. I check it out. I'm trying to make it make sense to me. I don't understand how you can get into your feels about something like that. And here's another thing that makes me upset about this situation. Okay, because he couldn't be a part of their family legally and he found this out, he cut ties from them. What? You don't need paperwork to be family for somebody. If somebody has your back, if somebody been taking care of you, somebody put you in the right direction as especially a young troubled man, you don't need paperwork for that. I've seen these people invited you to their lives, bro. They gave you the starting point. You was a part of their major wedding. You was considered family. Everybody that knows the Tuohys, that know the situation personally, like, yo, if it wasn't for the Tuohys, this kid wouldn't even be where he at today. They gave him a super boost. So I'm just trying to figure out how can this be? You can't make this up, bro. This is that woke bug. I'm gonna tell you right now, Michael Orr got hit with the woke bug. Michael Orr done got hit with this woke bug because he felt guilty hanging out with these white folks. Because you know how that black and stand mentality is. They tell you when you get around these circles. Now Negan said he was lied to so they can make money from. But here's the thing though, Negan. They never touched his money. With the conservatorship thing, they got that money they got from Old Miss. They was already connected with Old Miss. You know what I'm saying? They got us some of that before we started talking about the NCAA stuff. So they was gonna get money from Boost. They were gonna get money from this college either way. Donated to their business. You know how they do undercover. So that wasn't it. What the conservatorship is, they were trying to make sure that he was making financial decisions, but they never stepped in. They never played with his money. They never touched his money. They let him do his own thing. Now he's about to go end it, well, it's fine. But my thing is, nigga, yes, he was. He said that himself that he was troubled. He had a rough life. Now he talked about that, but he said that he was also under the Department of Health Services, okay, with Tennessee. And the problem was is that at the time that he was in between those and everything else, the Tuohys took him in. Now the Tuohys had him. He stayed with the Tuohys. some people that were friends, like the Tuohy was still helping him, but it wasn't like like he said in the movie, true, that he wasn't with them all the time, but they were still an intricate part of his success. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like what LeBron James went through with his last coach that helped him out at that St. Mary's basketball thing. A lot of coaches and them do that. They'll see a person with a lot of promise, and they know that their family life is a little rough. They'll go and say, "All right, you know what? I'm going to help this young man or this young woman by, doing this or doing that extra." They may not have them, stay at their house at all the time or as a resident or whatever, but they're an intricate part. So my thing is that, yeah, they lied to him about the conservatorship, but he was about to age out the system. So by the time they would have pursued to adopt him, it wouldn't have worked. I mean, that's what I'm getting from their side and what I'm getting from the other side of what I've researched. I just think that Michael got hit with the woke bug. That's all I'm just gonna be honest. Because they never touched his money. The only thing that happened was the whole movie deal. That what pissed him off. But then the son said, listen, we didn't make that much off the movie deal. They only gave us between the book and the movie deal for 5 years, 70 grand. So they didn't make that much money. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm not making no excuses for nobody. I think everybody should be entitled to their money. Don't get it twisted. And I don't think nobody should be made a fool of. But I really think that Michael Oher is reaching because these people really did try to do everything they can to support him. Because every time you turned around, they were at every game that he was in. And shit, damn near till he almost was about to leave, until he retired out the league. So it wasn't like these people were just, hustling him and said, all right, we got what we want out of him. Screw him. They really looked at him as a family member. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Negan. And that what made him mad because he didn't have no creative control about that movie. And I agree, that was pretty messed up, but we know how Hollywood is. They're gonna do that. They're gonna do whatever they think they can do to make money. In fact, I think a lot of the cast members on Blindside talked about that. They regret that he was not more involved in making that movie because they felt like if they had let him have more creative control, they could have got an idea of what type of individual he was growing up. Because I'm quite sure Michael Orr does not strike me as a dummy. He strikes me as a very intelligent young man. I just think that over time, and it happens, you get a bad taste in your mouth, people's not talking, no communication, and then he found out about this in 2020. He just felt like in his mind, okay, yeah, exactly, Negan. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. And that's what made him mad. That made a lot of people mad. In fact, in a way, if you kind of look at that with Hollywood back then, that's what them liberals do, man. They try to make black folks look like they ain't that intelligent. And so that what made everybody upset about that movie. And not to mention too, even Sandra Bullock spoke out about that movie too. She wasn't too happy about how that movie portrayed that young man in the end. Because again, they didn't give him no creative control. It was about his life. That's why now, if you back when that movie was made, that movie was made. It was Blindside made. Hold on, y'all. That movie was made in 2015, right? Hold on. Yeah, that movie was made in 2015. So that movie was 8 years ago. Um, Back then, 8 years ago, this is their way of saying, "Oh, look at this poor person. He this poor black person or son kid. he can't take care of himself. And that's what they did. Now you fast forward now to today, you can't do that today, especially if you're talking about a black entertainer or athlete. If you go to do their story and you got them coming off like that, man, it'll be an outrage. So yeah, they did make him look like a dummy. They really made him look like an idiot, and I agree with you 100% on that. So I just personally feel like that this situation with Michael Oher and the Tuohy, I think is more of an in-house situation. When I say in-house, it's family because they had a good relationship for a long time. I think Michael should end the conservatorship. I'm cool with that. I support that because he's now got his own business. He know what he's doing. I'll give me 1 second here. And I also feel like he needs to sit down with the Tuohys and have a meeting where they air their grievances out, how he felt, what he felt like. Because I feel like the relationship can be saved. Because they already said they still love him. They ain't said nothing ill about it. They still talk highly about it. So I think it can be saved. I think that they need to sit down and talk it out without the cameras, without the publicity. And I think after he ends this conservatorship, it probably will get better. But this is what you got to do. Sometimes you gotta put all these extra people out of the situation and just get back to the basics. All right, let's get to this last story. I didn't know I was gonna be this long winded. We got to talk about mm, a girl named her name is Storm. Let me see what it is. Her name is. I didn't have enough to put it on there because I want to talk about her because I want to talk to you about how Blackistan has created this entitlement with our black kids today. Baby Storm, that's her name. Baby Storm. I want to make sure I got the name. So Baby Storm is a TikTok influencer. Okay, when we talk about these TikTok influencers, these people that go out here and do what we do, but they do it on different genres, whatever. Well, she likes to she's a singer and she's somewhat of a dancer. So on Sunday, okay, she decided to go to a store in Target. I don't know where the store in Target she went to, and decided with her group of people of 12, they were going to do a flash mob dance right in the middle of the store. Okay, let's pause right here. And I'm going to say it again. She thought that it was a great idea to do a flash mob choreography dance in the middle of a highly shopped public store. I know you're going to say, well, Joel, it's a public store. What's the problem? Well, the store is, first of all, is Target. Second of all, it's not a public store for you to dance your ass off in. It's a store for you to shop. It's a private property. You want to do all that stuff, you need to set yourself up at a public park. They have rules. They have to have it like that because they can't get sued. Because what if you dancing your ass off and slip and fall in your own sweat, you can bust out and say it's their fault. So I don't blame them. I don't need you doing that in my store. Second of all, the employee who came up to them just told them, look, we're going to have to call the cops on you guys because you can't do this in our store. That was the Target employee basically told them. They started recording, talking about we're being asked to leave by a security guard and an employee, but they can't make all of us leave if we all stand together. What? Again, let me reiterate, this is not your store. This is private property, a place of business. Again, a place of business. You are not an employee. You know affiliation with the store. So, with that being all stated, you have no right to be dancing your behind in the store. And if these people tell you that you can't, guess what? They have every right to because they work there and it's their what? Their store. And because what else? Ding, 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 ding. Private property. Oh, we're not finished. You're about to get retarded. Then she said, all of a sudden, she tried to say that before they even started, that she said the reason why it was racially motivated, that even before she walked in the store, they were ready to call the cops. Okay, I know right there you lied. Because first off, you said they told you on camera they're going to have to call the cops because you dancing and he walked up on y'all. Now you're trying to say, oh yeah, he was also trying to call cops on us before we came into the store. Bullshit. I believe the latter. Your ass walked in that store, instead of all just your crew, and they thinking y'all gonna go in there and shop or look at some stuff and come back out. Y'all decided y'all thought it was flashmob.com or something. I don't know. And then she explained, so we made the most of what we could. I couldn't even remember the dance I came up with. This moment for me was one I really could not describe. I tried to bring it together, try to keep it together, but all I could focus on was all the beautiful brown faces I was able to bring together that were able to stand in solidarity today. This is everything I stand for. Great. Do it at a park. I'm going to say it again. Do it at a public place or park. You want to do a flash mob dance, you could have done it at the park. You could have went to another venue and asked what you need to do and pay to have this happen. You could have done it at the club. I don't know. But this right here is what I'm talking about. The stupidity of it all. And then when she started talking about the man was a racist, everybody's like, well, what makes him a racist for telling you that you can't dance? Then you got another woman that's an Australian colonist, and I think she's black. She said that was embarrassing. Another woman said, man, character syndrome. This is all on X, formerly known as Twitter. And Julia Gunlock also responded on another participant of X. Grow up, American Women's Forum senior analyst Julie Glock said. And that when she pushed back and all that stuff. And she talking about how can you tell a black woman what racism is if you're not black? I can tell you what it is. And then she tried to be funny and said, we're not uncivilized, violent people. We just want to spread some joy calling the police and calling us a safety hazard when we didn't even do anything was just wrong. Target's a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and everyone knows what a flash mob is. It's harmless. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's private property. It's their rule. You cannot be dancing your ass off with a group of people in Target. They even said that, and Target released this, and shout out to Target for a change for having some balls. They said Target has a clear policy prohibiting this kind of behavior. It's not right to assume that a Target employee is racist because they are following the store's policy, the note said. Now, this is a community note. I mean, guys got to understand. Um, Everybody got this is a policy. It's a policy. It's a place of business. It's a corporation. They got policies where they can't have people be doing this kind of stuff. You know, that's like if they let you go in their store and do a flash mob dance, and let's say nobody didn't get hurt and it went off with a smash. Guess what? They could get somebody that work at Walmart, start selling Walmart merchandise right there, or promoting or soliciting Walmart prices right there at a Target store. Now, the first thing y'all gonna say, "Oh, that ain't right. Why are they at the Walmart soliciting Walmart prices at Target store?" Okay, then. Now you get what I'm saying. So think about um what is being done with this dance. They don't have to allow you to dance in there. It's their property. Their stuff is either gonna be owned by Target or they're leasing the property. So either way it goes, they have every right to tell you hell to the no. This is again another entitlement syndrome that is going rapid in America, especially in Blackistan folks. And I said it, in some men and women. A lot of us act like we are entitled. We ain't entitled to nothing. You want to do a dance to flash mob, you should have recorded that shit at a park. You should have did it at your house. You should have did it at an Airbnb. I don't know, but that ain't it. And shout out to Target for standing up for what they for their employee, because once again we done got so sensitized, so sensitive that we are thinking everything is either racist or biased. And if we continue to think like that, man, we're never gonna accomplish nothing in this country. We're really not. We're never gonna accomplish nothing. We are gonna look like a bunch of damn fools. Because everything is not racism. Everything is not um target related. I mean, I don't know. I can't get it, man. Anyway, y'all, jump in the comment section. Tell me what y'all think about the recent indictment of Trump. Do you think that Donald J. Trump is going to beat these charges even in Georgia by Big Nut DA girlfriend, allegedly? Also, Michael Oher versus the Tuohys. Do you think that Michael Oher has every right to be upset with the Tuohys, or do you think that he should go ahead in the conservatorship and just sit down and talk with the Tuohys and find out and just air out his grievances so they can move forward? And last but not least, Baby Storm. Do you think she had every right to go to Target and do a flash mob, even though the policy tells her that she has no damn right to do that anyway? I need y'all guys' opinions. Again, thank you for rocking with me, keeping us strong at 8,555 subscribers, trying to get the road to 10K. Please like, share, and subscribe. As always, y'all know what it is. I'm out.